The stars shimmered like cold diamonds scattered across the endless dark. The Galactic Senate Hall hovered in low orbit above the planet Varel, its glass dome reflecting distant suns. Inside, hundreds of alien species sat in perfect order. Their faces were calm, proud, and certain of their power. The meeting began with the deep hum of the central core activating. A projection lit the hall, showing the image of a trembling alien ambassador. His skin shimmered faint blue, his eyes full of warning. He had just returned from a distant, insignificant planet orbiting a yellow star. "This world calls itself Earth," he said, voice echoing through the chamber. "Its dominant species are called humans. I advise, no, I beg, the Council to place them under observation immediately. They are dangerous." A wave of laughter rolled across the room. The Emperor of the Galactic Empire, a tall being with silver eyes and long draping robes, raised one brow. "Dangerous?" he said softly. "To us?" "Yes," the ambassador said. "They are primitive but unpredictable. I saw them fight among themselves with fury and cunning that defies reason. When faced with extinction, they unite. They learn faster than any species I have encountered. They adapt. They never surrender." The Council chuckled again. A traitor from the Vrax system leaned forward. "Let me understand. You claim a species that still uses combustion engines and fossil fuels is a threat to us?" "They are evolving," the ambassador insisted. "Their science is accelerating. They have touched the edge of artificial intelligence. They are building weapons capable of tearing apart planets, but it is not their machines you should fear. It is their nature. They thrive in chaos. They grow stronger through pain." The Emperor waved a hand. "Enough. The Empire does not concern itself with primitives. If they ever reach the stars, we will welcome them into our dominion." "This meeting is over." The warning was dismissed. The ambassador's report was archived and forgotten. For 2 centuries, the humans were ignored, until the day the Empire's outpost on the edge of Sector 12 went silent. At first, it was believed to be a technical fault. Then another station vanished. And another. Patrol ships sent to investigate never returned. When the first human transmission reached the Empire, it was short. It was calm. "This is the Terran Union. We are here." The message carried no threat, no arrogance. Yet to those who understood war, it was the calm before a storm. The Empire sent a fleet of 50 warships to meet them. Commanded by Grand Admiral Kareth, the fleet approached the Sol system with confidence. Their ships were the finest in the galaxy, sleek, powered by antimatter cores armed with energy lances that could vaporize moons. Then they saw Earth, a small blue world floating quietly in the dark. The humans had built massive orbital platforms. The fleet's scanners detected hundreds of vessels, crude by galactic standards but heavily armed. Admiral Kareth opened a channel. "This is the Galactic Empire. You are ordered to surrender your fleets and submit to Imperial authority." The reply came in seconds. "This is the Terran Union. We do not surrender." The first battle began above Mars. The Empire's ships advanced in perfect formation. The humans responded with unpredictable maneuvers, breaking their fleets into swarms of smaller units. They moved like chaos itself, attacking from angles no algorithm could predict. Kareth watched in disbelief as one of his destroyers vanished in a flash. Then another. The humans had developed kinetic projectiles, simple rods of dense metal accelerated to near-light speed. They had no shields, no energy beams, no elegant design, but each impact was like a thunderclap across the stars. "They are using physical ammunition," Kareth muttered. "Barbaric." Yet for every human ship destroyed, 3 Imperial ships were lost. In a desperate attempt to end the battle, Kareth ordered the deployment of the Titan-class cruiser. Its main weapon, the solar spear, could pierce a planet's crust. The energy beam cut through the void, striking one of Earth's moons. For a moment, silence filled the comms. Then a human voice answered. "Calm, steady, and cold, you fired on our moon. You will regret that." Hours later, the Empire's sensors detected hundreds of objects leaving Earth's orbit. They were smaller than ships, yet moving at incredible speed. Each was a guided missile wrapped in heat-resistant alloy. When they reached the fleet, the sky lit up. The Empire's shields flared, then collapsed under the barrage. The human weapons tore through them like glass. Ships burned, crews screamed, and Kareth watched in horror as his fleet disintegrated. The last transmission from the battle was a whisper from Kareth himself. "They learned too fast. The Galactic Senate received the report weeks later. The Emperor read it with disbelief. How could primitives defeat our armada? He demanded. The scientists analyzed the data. They adapted their tactics mid-battle. They recorded our weapon frequencies and adjusted their armor in real time. They sacrificed entire wings to create openings. They treat war like an equation, one they are always solving. The Emperor clenched his hands. Prepare the full armada. We will crush them before they spread. But when the armada reached Earth, the humans were no longer there. They had spread across nearby systems, building colonies in the ruins of their victories. The Empire launched a second campaign, believing brute force would prevail. Yet everywhere they went, they found remnants of human strategy. Decoy signals, trap satellites, entire planets rigged to explode the moment an Imperial ship entered orbit. For the first time in centuries, the Empire tasted fear. The humans did not fight for conquest. They fought for survival. They used every weakness the Empire revealed. When the Empire used stealth drones, humans developed pulse scanners. When the Empire unleashed viral AIs, humans countered with quantum firewalls that learned faster than the virus itself. Months turned to years. The front lines shifted closer to the Empire's heart worlds. The Emperor began to see the truth. The warning that had been ignored centuries ago was real. Humans were not the strongest. They were not the most advanced. But they were relentless. Every loss became a lesson. Every defeat forged a new strategy. On the planet Rhinar, the Empire made its last stand. The human fleet appeared out of the void, thousands of ships bearing the insignia of the Terran Union. Their design was now sleek, efficient yet scarred by countless battles. The Emperor himself watched from the surface as the sky ignited. The Empire's fleets fell one by one. Even their mighty dreadnoughts were hunted and cornered like beasts. The humans fought not for power but for justice. When the battle ended, silence fell over the galaxy. The Emperor, old and broken, sat alone in his throne room. The great banners of the Empire hung in tatters. His advisor approached quietly. They are asking for terms of peace. Peace, the Emperor repeated softly. What do they demand? They ask only for one thing, that no species ever calls them primitive again. The Emperor closed his eyes. And what of the others? They watch from the shadows, the advisor said. The smaller empires, the free worlds. They whisper a new name for them. The children of Earth, the ones who survived everything. The Emperor rose and walked to the window. Far in the distance, the sky shimmered with human ships moving through the void like silver arrows. Perhaps, he said, we should have listened. Years passed. The humans rebuilt what the wars had destroyed. They did not enslave. They did not conquer. Instead, they shared their knowledge with those who sought peace. But they never forgot. In the halls of their new capital, carved into the moon of a quiet world, a single plaque stood. It bore the words once spoken by the ambassador who had tried to warn the galaxy. They thrive in chaos. They grow stronger through pain. The humans had proven that prophecy true. Beyond the borders of the former empire, rumors began to spread. In the uncharted systems at the edge of the galaxy, something old was stirring. A vast machine intelligence, long dormant, had awakened. It scanned the stars, seeking targets, calculating threats. When it reached the records of the wars, its cold mind paused upon one name: humanity. Its analysis concluded in a single line: unpredictable, hazard level unknown, recommend avoidance. Even the machine understood what the Empire had not. Across the galaxy, the legend of the humans grew. They were not gods. They were not demons. They were survivors, the species that refused to die. And somewhere on a quiet world under a familiar yellow sun, a child looked up at the stars and whispered a promise. We will never stop reaching. The universe listened.